Hello, welcome to Food Immerse, a channel where we not only teach you how to cook delicious dishes, but immerse ourselves in the history, culture, science, and beauty of food. I'm Lorraine, and I'm so excited for you to join me on this journey, exploring different cuisines, ingredients, and cooking techniques. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single delicious episode. Pork Schnitzel, or in German, Schweineschnitzel. The word Schnitzel comes from the German word Schnitt, meaning cut or slice, and refers to the technique of breading and frying thin cuts of meat, which actually originated in Rome about 1 BC and not Austria or Germany. You may have heard of Wienerschnitzel, which is from Austria. Wien means Vienna in German and is made with veal. Schweineschnitzel is traditional in Germany and is made with pork. Schwein is German for pig. While veal is traditional in Austria, pork schnitzel is far more common in German homes and restaurants due to lower cost and wider availability. Variations of breading and frying thin cuts of meat are found around the world. There is Japanese tonkatsu, which is pork, Italian cotoletta alla milanese, which is veal, and in Mexico and throughout Latin America, you'll find milanesa, inspired by the Italian dish, and usually beef but sometimes chicken or pork, and often served in a torta. The variations in this dish around the world are in the protein and breading used, the seasonings, and the accompaniments served alongside. Schnitzel and all of the global variations use what's called standard breading procedure, dredging the protein first in flour, then egg, and finally breadcrumbs. It is then shallow fried rather than deep fried, which means frying in a depth of oil that comes about halfway up the side of the food item. Schnitzel is often served with various gravies or sauces, but I prefer it plain with just parsley and a squeeze of lemon juice. Common sides are potato salad, French fries, or spätzle. Okay, let's get cooking. To make pork schnitzel, you will need 4 boneless pork chops, kosher salt and freshly ground black pepper, a ½ cup all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon salt, 2 large eggs, 3/4 cup plain dry breadcrumbs, you do not want panko here, vegetable oil for frying, 1 lemon cut into 4 or 8 wedges, and optional garnish of chopped Italian parsley. The equipment you will need are 2 sheets of plastic wrap, a meat mallet with a smooth side or a small flat pan, a candy/deep fry thermometer, 2 sheet pans, and 2 cooling racks to fit the sheet pans. Start by patting the pork chops dry and trimming off any excess fat. Place a piece of plastic wrap on a sturdy surface like a cutting board or counter. Place 2 of the pork chops spaced apart onto the plastic wrap. Now spread a second sheet of plastic wrap over the top. Now use the smooth side of a meat mallet to pound the pork out to about 1/4 inch thick. Start in the middle and sort of push the mallet out to the side as you're striking. Here's a before and after. If you don't have a meat mallet, you can use the bottom of a small skillet. Just make sure it's completely flat. Lightly season both sides with salt and freshly ground pepper. Set pork aside. Now let's set up our 3 shallow bowls for standard breading procedure. In the first bowl, place the flour and the 1 teaspoon of salt. Combine with a fork. Crack the eggs into the second bowl and beat lightly. And finally, place the breadcrumbs in the third bowl. Take one of the pork chops and dredge it through the flour on both sides. The flour will give the egg something to adhere to. Shake off the excess. Now using one hand, dip both sides in the egg. Using one hand allows you to keep the other hand dry while you're going through the process. Finally, press both sides into the breadcrumbs. Shake off any excess and place on a rack over a sheet pan. Repeat with the other pork chops. Placing them on the rack instead of directly on a pan allows air to circulate, keeping them drier for better browning. For the same reason, you do not want to bread the pork until right before you're ready to cook it. Pour enough oil in a large nonstick skillet that the oil will come about halfway up the sides of the pork. Start heating the oil over medium heat. While the oil is heating, cut the lemon into wedges. If using the optional parsley garnish, pull some leaves off and chop. Use a deep fry thermometer to make sure the cooking oil reaches 330 degrees Fahrenheit. Hotter than this and the outside will burn before the center is cooked. If the oil is too cool, it will result in a soggy exterior. Carefully place schnitzels in cooking oil, putting the side closest to you down first for safety. Do not overcrowd the pan. If your pan is smaller, you may need to cook in 2 batches. Cook until the first side is golden brown. This will take about 1 to 2 minutes. Turn over and cook until the other side is golden brown, about 1 minute. Place on a rack with paper towels underneath to drain. Note that this is a clean second rack. If you only have 1 rack, you need to clean it after having the raw pork on it and before using it for this step. Arrange schnitzel on a platter and garnish with lemon wedges and chopped parsley. Serve hot. Thank you so much for joining Food Immerse and exploring different cuisines, ingredients, and cooking techniques. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe so you don't miss a single delicious episode. If you make this dish, I would love to hear about it in the comments or shoot me an email. Until next time, cheers to good food.